I've been missing in action for some days now. So today I just wanted to share some of my thoughts around marriage amiibo and to tell you how and why I started this platform. So in the beginning, I didn't have a name for it. I just started talking about, women going through domestic abuse. Yes, every time I say these things, men would always come out to say, but men also go through abuse. Yes, I know they do. But for some reasons, I don't really discuss the abuse that men go through. And that is because in my research, I found out that, you know, the world has always supported men, but very little support has been given to the women. I found out that women are like endangered species. Nobody's speaking up for them. And it's almost as if the woman is always blamed for everything that is going wrong in the world and in the society. And that's the reason why I decided to be that voice that would be on the side of women. Not that I don't recognize that men have their own challenges. So please don't get me wrong. If you're a man on my platform, if you're wondering why I'm always about women, this is the reason why. I want to speak for women because I want to be an additional voice that is helping women. So I started this platform sharing how women can recognize abusive situations because I found out that a lot of Nigerian women, they're just romancing with abuse and they don't even recognize it. To them, they feel it's normal. That is how men are. That is how society is. That's what's expected of us. And before you know it, they begin to lose themselves. So I started by talking about the different ways that abuse presents itself, the different types of abuse. If you've been following me for some time, you will see some of those videos on my Facebook wall. And yeah, so I was sharing all that content and also on my YouTube wall, Marriage Amoeba. So yeah, so I was discussing all that until recently my husband started saying that he thinks that we should look at also bringing in the family side of things to Marriage Amiibo, where we could also share our own stories, our journey so far, and we're looking at that. So we're going to be bringing you some of our own personal stories behind the scenes of our own lives and the things that have been going on in our own lives up until now. How we have walked through the marriage journey, because we also have our own amiibo to share. Yeah, so but one of the things that I've been thinking about is I want more women to begin to, especially women that have passed through turbulent marriages, who have recovered from it, should start speaking out and putting some of those things in writing or finding a way to give expression to them. And it's so important because in my interaction with women, I find out that people tend to repeat the mistakes that others have made. I interact with women of various age categories. I've interacted with the elderly women. I'm talking about women in their 60s, 70s, and their 80s. And I've also interacted with women 40s and below, down to their 20s. And I see that if there was a way that a lot of these older women documented some of these things that they have been through in their marriages, the younger generation at least will be able to help some. I know that a lot of us women were still with our blocked ears. We still want to go and experience some of these things. But if there's any way that some of these things from the older generation could be documented, we'll be able to help the younger generation not to repeat the same mistakes. And I will tell you one. So one of the things that helped me in the beginning of before I got married, one of my relatives told me her story about the challenges she had with a joint account. And one of the advice that she gave to me was that joint account is something I should be very, very careful about. In fact, she is of the opinion that couples should not put their money together because she had a very bad experience doing that in her marriage, and she's still dealing with that till now. And I tell you, this advice she gave to me when I was still in my university, in my 20s or early 20s. Yes, I was just in my second year. I wasn't even thinking of getting married then, but that advice really stuck. And I told myself, oh, joint accounts, I have to be very careful with you, which is contrary to what a lot of religious organizations teach. And yeah, in my marriage, we don't operate a joint account. We've never operated a joint account. Yes, we have an account where we could put stuff in. We've had an account like that where we could put, money that we want to use for certain things, but we don't operate that account where at the end of the month I send my money in and my husband sends his money in. No, I don't believe in it. I don't know if my husband what he thinks about it. We didn't agree to have a joint account, and it's not a problem. So we've been running that way for the past 12 years now. It's not a problem. I don't know your own situation and dynamic. So I'm just giving an instance. I'm just using this as an example to say that if some of these older mothers communicated or found a way to give expression to these things, the younger generation will be able to make better decisions to save them from a lot of things that they are going through today. We would find out that people are not going to repeat some of the mistakes that our great grandparents, our parents have made in the past. And I would like to encourage more women to begin to share their stories. If you have been through a tough marriage or had tough relationship and you have healed from it, it's always good for you to have some kind of platform where you're talking about these things so that you can save others. You're safe to save others. And I believe that, if we're able to do this, we're making the world better. And I would like to let you know that, do you know that people who do this kind of things even get some support? Like I found an organization, a US based organization, they call themselves domestic shelters. They are in the US, so you could Google them. Sometime in the year, like the last one I saw here was in March 2021, and I'm sure that they've done other awards even in recent times. So you could check them up around beginning of the year. Or I could even write them to find out when they'll be doing the next one for next year. So they have these awards in various categories that they give out over $30,000 to people, survivors of domestic abuse, or people who are running programs or trying to do something around domestic violence. So I just need you to know that your story, is not just in vain, or because there are people that are looking for people that are doing things to help the next generation. For instance, there are some awards here like Survivor of the Year. There is an award here like Outstanding Community Education. There is another award here like, let's see, Program or Shelter Executive of the Year. So they have a lot of awards that they give to women who are pushing the message in this space. So if you are that person who has been through abuse or domestic issues, and you have been helped and you're thinking of doing something, please don't push back or don't hide your story, because in bringing out these things, you're helping the next generation. So these are my thoughts. These are my ideas. I don't know what you think. I want to read your comments in the comment section. If you think you want to talk to me privately, feel free to inbox me and we will take it up from there. So thank you for listening. Bye.